What's up? We got The Flash Season 2, Episode 6, Enter Zoom. So this episode starts off with Barry talking to Earth 2 Linda / Dr. Light, and he mentions about, and he's like, hey, how's Zoom gonna bring you home? And she's like, I was supposed to take your emblem, throw it through the breach, and he was gonna confirm you're dead, and then bring her home. And he's like, oh, okay. So then Patty's talking with Joe about how Dr. Light's starlights are able to turn herself invisible. So that's what she basically does. She kicks Cisco, leaves her suit and mask behind, and then just never shows up on the show again. Yeah, and do you know who also does it? I'll talk about that at a later time. But so they decide to bring. So with Jay gone for some reason that never explained. He's just not in the episode at all. He's just gone. He's not sure he's on vacation or he left town. He's just not in the episode at all. Actually, we know he isn't. We know he was in the episode last time. He's not in this one. He's not in the episode at all. He was in the last episode. So, so they decided to say, hey, Linda, want to help us stop Dr. Light? And after a bunch of montages, she fails. Then Barry's like, hey, Linda. And she's like, OMG, she's made out with the Flash. Yeah. Linda knows Barry's identity. Let's put that on the list of other people who know his identity. Because the show loves doing that so much. Linda's now there. So they said after that, she decides to. Meanwhile with that, they don't trust Harry. So they don't trust Earth 2 Harry. So Cisco decides to vibe him, but he's always getting mad, and he's like, hey, if you have a question, ask it. Then, other than just leave him alone. So Cisco vibes him and sees Zoom with his daughter, and so back with the Flash stuff. So she pretends to attack him. They throw his emblem through the breach, but Zoom doesn't come. But then, when Linda and Iris are all alone, Zoom just shows up out of nowhere and takes Linda. Instead of Iris just doing anything, attacking Zoom, she just is like, Linda! And it's just like, Iris, you couldn't do anything. She calls Barry, though. That's it. She calls Barry. And so Barry's like, Zoom's got Linda. So he's like, You like to fish with bait, so do I. And I know I don't do a very good Zoom impression, but Zoom throws Linda off the building, and Barry catches her, and he's like, run. She's like, no, he's a monster. And he's like, you want to be him? You want to be a hero? And he's like, heroes die. And he's like, only if you can catch them. So they have a cool speedster fight. So then Barry starts speeding around, and he's like, what? And Harry's like, what is he doing? And he's like, he's not scared. And he's like, he's about to thunderbolt him. And he's like, what? He's like, Jay Thomas throw lightning. So he thunderbolts him, but then Zoom's like, haha, I know your trick, and throws the thunderbolt at Barry. And they're like, yeah, we saw all that. And they're like, we saw all that. So he's like, Jay was right, Barry can't just alone. He's like, he's not alone. But then Harry shoots Zoom, but then Zoom takes the thing and injects it into Barry. And then he takes him all the way to see Central City Picture News and says, Barry's no hero, he's no god, and then takes him all, and then speeds him around to CCPD, where Patty and Joe and all the cops try to shoot Zoom with guns, but he just uses his hand to knock them all on the ground, and then he breaks Barry's back, like banging from back. he snaps Barry's back like Bane from Batman from Dark Knight Rises, or am I remembering this wrong? So yeah, and then Cisco just hits Zoom once. Zoom collapses. Cisco doesn't think of doing it again. Zoom gets away. Harry's like, no! And I'm just like, Cisco could have just done that a second time. He shoots Zoom with a gun, with a thing to knock him out. He could have just done that a second time. But no, he did it once and then Zoom got away. And then Joe just is yelling at Harry about how this is Harry's fault if Barry dies. Harry dies. Okay, I'm kind of getting confused with names now. Barry. He's like, Harry died. If Harry dies, Barry dies. So he's like, who's Jesse? He's like, his daughter. He's like, you vibed him. He's like, yeah. He's like, you saw him with Zoom. And he's like, that's Zoom sent you like the others. You kill the Flash and you get your job back. He's like, no, detective. I only get Jesse back if I kill Zoom. And Barry, if I capture Zoom, I couldn't do it on his door, so he's gonna do it here. So, and I can't do it on here either. So yeah. So then the episode ends with Barry saying he can't feel his legs. So this episode's great. It's also the final episode of Linda Park. I really feel bad for Linda as a character. She felt better. I'm gonna say it. Linda felt wasted during this season. She kind of did as a character. Like she kind of did in this season. She could have been removed from this season, and it could have been better for her because Linda felt wasted as a character. She felt better in season 1 than this season because at least she only has like one scene with Barry, and that's when he revealed her to him. That's her only scene with him. In season 1, she had like 4 episodes of scenes with Barry. Like her whole character, and then she just leaves. Like wait, what? That's your way you're gonna get her your character. She fails, and then she just gets captured by Zoom. You tell her to run, and then she just leaves. That's how she's gone. This may be better. This may be a bad leave than when Sin left during Arrow season 3, because their final lines are just. I feel bad for Linda. She was really wasted during this season because all she did was talk with Iris, revealed her very really secret identity. She failed at being Dr. Light. Then she almost gets killed by Zoom. Barry tells her to leave, and then she just leaves, never to be shown on the show again. She does get the original actress from Arrow does return, but in archive footage. So this is the final appearance of Linda Park as a mainstay. And I feel bad for it. Because Linda Park was a pretty good character. She just says he's a monster, and then that's her final episode. Like, is this bad? Is this the bad? What's up with these characters from other seasons having a bad final season? Like, Sin in season 3, Linda here. Like, what's up with the characters and having bad final seasons? They're major players in their first season, but then when they come back, they're just relegated to one scene with the main character and then just gone. Like, I feel bad for Linda as a character. I feel bad for her because Linda was a pretty good character. In season 1, she was the girlfriend of Barry, but in season 2, she's just Iris' friend who's a sports anchor. That's all she is. That's all Linda is in this season. She's just Iris' friend at Central State Picture News. I guess she had to be there to get Larkin killed, but I'm just saying, so we could have Earth 2 Dr. Light. But what if, here's my theory, what if they didn't have Linda in the show at all, and they had the actress play the Earth 2 version of her, and they get her to join them to stop Zoom, just like they did with Linda, Linda wouldn't have to be in this season. They could have got the actress to play Earth 2 counterpart, but they wouldn't have had to tarnish the name of Earth 1 Linda. Because boy, does the season really make me look Earth 1 Linda in the face and say, wow, you were really butchered when it came to this season 2's portrayal of you. Because boy, was Linda really not my favorite character. She wasn't even in for that long. She had 4 episodes, just like her season 1. She had like 3 episodes, I think. But boy, were they not that good. I would say that I like season 1 Linda. Because she was more interesting as Barry's girlfriend than she was in here. All she is in season 2 is just Iris's friend. That's all she is. She's nothing else. She's just Iris's friend. That's all she is. That's all she is. I'm done talking about it. But anyway, that was it for this video. This was the final appearance of Linda Park. And boy, was it pretty bad. At least they're actually putting the bigger and better things. I don't know what they are, but they were probably bigger and better than her final appearance in this episode. Next time we will be talking about the Arrow episode that I absolutely dislike. But that's after this one. So I'll see you next time on more of The Flash. Till Zoom.